This is Film Don't Lie from UGAsports.com. That's Brent Rollins. I'm Dayne Young. We're presented by Jittery Joe's. Go to jitteryjoes.com or your Northeast Georgia area Jittery Joe's store in person. Joe and Sam's in Watkinsville is where I like to go a lot. And you can get this limited edition coffee can from Jittery Joe's. They're supporters of Film Don't Lie, and they're supporters of UGA and Athens and everything going on in Georgia. Please support them because they support us. When we were texting Brent about what was the play of the game, it kind of came down to the one that scored a touchdown. Because other than that, you're looking at Keely Ringo's interception, maybe a couple other things, but not a whole lot of highlights. But we're here to show off one from it. This is more of a kind of like Dolly Parton being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Lifetime Achievement Award. The player of this game was Kenny McIntosh, and he scored the only touchdown in the game. So the play of the game is the touchdown that he scored.
Well, and it's also one, we talk about early in the season, who's going to sort of how the running back room is going to separate itself and who's going to be the alpha. He's the alpha. Like, he's the guy now. He's shown over the past few weeks that I'm the guy. I need to get the most carries. I need to be on the field the most, that kind of thing. But two, like, this play has massive significance for me. And we'll get to it we'll get to it when we look at it.
Oh, I'm watching it on my end, and I didn't show it to everyone else. There's an extra button for me to click, and it's on a screen I wasn't looking at. So here you go. Jump in.
So there's ways to call it, but this is basically split zone read. And the key for this is you do not block. Like, how often do we see Darnell coming across, and it's Bowers in this case, come across and block that guy? And they're trying to maybe run inside of there. But look what Bowers does to this defense. Look at the safety who's standing on like the 2-yard line right by the ref. Completely takes himself out of the play because he's in, maybe they're in some form of man, gone, out of the play. The linebacker sees Bowers coming across and Stetson potentially holding the ball. Right there, that guy basically takes himself out of the play. And because of that, you basically have to block one guy or two guys. The two down linemen there. Broderick turns out the outside guy, and I think it's Truss that wins on the inside guy. Easy touchdown. And I may or may not have had some conversations with folks in the building over the past week or so. Why do you always block the backside end? Why do you not run this all the daggone time? And this is one that's very passionate for me because I even wrote about it. Like, we looked at Auburn early in the year when I think it was Edwards got a touchdown. It's just easy because every single defense in America is going to respect Bowers as a receiving threat. And if they don't, you keep it and throw it to him. But to me, when you have the option of the back one, the QB keeping the ball two if they chase the backside, or three, the potential for the pop at the Bowers on the outside, it's triple option play. And this should be their short yardage play 99 times out of 100 to me.
Rather than just running behind left guard.
Make the defense wrong no matter what they choose. And this, to me, makes the defense wrong all the time. And by the way, I think they're going to do that. I think this year, like, you look at Stetson as a runner, and or situations where they've definitively put him as the runner by choice. It's been very limited. And that, to me, that governor is going to come off on December 3rd.
Also, if Stetson keeps here, looks pretty good.
Why is it one of the 3 field goals to play the game? It's Kenny Mack, though. Like, phenomenal game. Career high rushing attempts, career high in yards, career high in yards after contact, career high in yards after contact per attempt. Like, he's now 6th in the SEC among backs with missed tackles forced. Like, he, to me, has sort of upped his game significantly over the last 4 weeks. And and it's mainly as a runner. They really haven't involved him as much in the passing game over the past 4 weeks either. But
He had
still,
that career high very early too.
Yes. And we showed him in the offensive one as well. Like, he was just running possessed. It's fun to watch.
All right. The other thing that we're going to do here before we wrap is your internet had some cold weather issues on our defensive video, and I was hanging out there doing the best I could, but you know more about football and X's and O's than I do, and you had a really good point here on a potential trick play. So we're going to hop back into a little defensive analysis. I'm sitting out for the majority of the rest of this.
2 for the price of 1, commentary. Right?
So this is all you, my friend, and I will just guide the way.
Okay. The play that Lassiter comes up and makes the play, like, that's a double pass. Like, if you at the snap, if we pause at the snap, the guy at the top right there, that's a big fella who's just hanging out there inside the 50. That's their normal left tackle, or maybe even their right tackle. I don't know. I think it was a normal left tackle. And Munden did a phenomenal job of IDing the left tackle who was eligible and staying with him. And then 84 inexplicably just says, okay, Lassiter, you can go tackle the guy. I have no idea what he was doing. But that's just great communication and awareness from Munden on this play, because if 84 actually blocks that Lassiter and then Munden doesn't stick with him, he's running down the field completely by himself, and two's throwing it to him. So just great job all around.
Right here is
and now we'll say
talking about. Yeah.
Levis, I think, did a really bad job, though, of kind of, because that's a forward pass. Like, he can't throw it again. And I don't think I think he was a little mixed up with whatever. It was just a cluster for Kentucky. But great job by Munden IDing those things and seeing that.
Quickly, did you want to talk about any of this? Is Pop
the QB run? So this action,
yeah,
it's the action that you're going to see exactly from LSU, where you're getting a jet fake coming across, the H-back or the tight ends coming back the other way, and they're either giving it or the QB is keeping it. Now, I think in a normal setting, Dumas Johnson's going to kind of scrape to the backside. You're also, like, Beal comes across here and just destroys the tight end. He has no care for what the QB's doing. They're not going to play it that way against LSU, but it's just from a look, formationally, action, all that. That's what they're going to see in a couple weeks in the SEC championship game. And Jaden Daniels is obviously a whole different animal when it comes to running the ball. This one mainly just
Floyd Rodriguez.
Couple of things with Rodriguez. His slowest single game totals each of the past 2 years against Georgia. This year, 51 yards low. His lowest total this year was what he had in this game. He only had 7 yards against them last year, 7 carries. But the big thing here is Nazir Stackhouse. Dude has just been playing lights out, especially as a run defender. He's now the 3rd highest graded run defender on the team behind Carter and Nolan Smith, who's obviously no longer there. But just great job of maintaining the line of scrimmage, working down the line of scrimmage, and then making a play, shedding and making a play. He's actually, what's amazing, I noticed it and then looked at the totals. He's played more snaps than any defensive lineman, even more than Michael Williams. So that guy, like, you had Terrell Walthour and Zion Logue season low in terms of number of snaps in this game, mainly because this guy's playing so well. And he's just staying on. And now with Jalen Carter back, those two guys playing 40-plus snaps a game, that's amazing. That's great for their defense. And cold weather and their sort of style of play allows that, I think, a little more so. But phenomenal job there.
I praise Kamari Lassiter on this play on the game. He made a poor effort here, though he's in the right position. Just praising Javon Bullard for sticking with this.
Hey, both of them, for the most part, fast and physical. Dan Quinn's kind of players. Very fast, very physical. And Bullard especially. Bullard, I think, is now the 3rd highest graded defender. Their defense is completely different with him on the field than when it's not. And much like Jalen Carter impacts the front 6, he impacts the back five in a very big way, and his physical coverage, all of it. Great player.
That guy loves Georgia. Final 2 plays here, and I just pointed out the difference in how you handle some pick stuff and how Keely Ringo fights through a bit of a pick route here from Kentucky. And then on the following play, doesn't quite work as successfully. Ringo stays with his guy and fights through this.
Yeah, it makes a good physical tackle here on 3rd down. Sets up the 4th down play. You get the blitz causes Chambliss for them mistakenly to leave Chambliss alone, so you get in the face and force the bad throw. And I think that's one of the things with Levis. When he's got a clean pocket and can let it rip in sort of in rhythm, he is legit when it comes to that realm. But anything out of rhythm, not so much. Now this play, I don't understand the alignment. Like there's always one of those things where is it a scheme issue or is it a player issue? And this is one I'm shocked they didn't kind of banjo this where it's like almost a zone within a man look, a zone concept. Like if one guy goes out, the outside guy takes him, one guy goes in, the inside guy takes him. Like it's one of those, I thought that would be the case here because when I saw this live, I thought it was going to be the Ladd play. I thought the outside guy, the 2 guys were going to go forward and the outside guy was going to come in, pick play like Georgia ran for a touchdown recently. But they just did it with the 2 inside guys because 2 is really good. Yeah. Barry and Brown for Kentucky. And they like that matchup all the time. I would have loved to have seen some sort of, like I said, some banjo cover where Ringo, once he goes out, he kind of comes up and steps and gets the inside guy, and then Puller stays on the outside guy. But good execution from Kentucky. They score. And it's also, that's man across. 4th down, you're bringing the house. You don't get there in time. They make a play. That was it.
Other than those guys switching, there's not much they could do.
No. Those were my defensive points that got screwed up by my crappy internet.
Well, we love
normally
Oconee
the internet's
County.
Fine.
We love Oconee County, but we're going to lobby that Oconee County improves its internet infrastructure. But we're not a political show. Maybe a future one.
No,
we don't want to get banned from dog venting.
I won't go there. That's not my world. I like football way better.
We do like football. We also like Jittery Joe's. Go to jitteryjoes.com to support them. And thanks everybody for watching Film Don't Lie. We'll be back next week to check out Georgia and Georgia Tech and to preview some Georgia and LSU.
Yes.
Which I think is more likely.
Definitely. Yes. A whole lot more of that.
Thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and thank you for supporting everything that we do. We'll see you next week.